Okay, so for this shape here, we're in for the area total. We're going to take the area of the large rectangle and we're going to subtract the area that's cut out. So just write little subscripts to help me tell you what exactly it is that we're finding. So we take the area total. That's going to be length times width minus length times width. But we just have to be careful with our lengths and our widths. So the area of the big shape would be 5 times 9 or 9 times 5. Doesn't matter what order it is. Minus 2 times what? What could possibly be this dimension? Yep. How'd you get that? That's right. So often in grade 9, you're going to have to subtract to get measurements. We're not going to spoon feed you. Right? You guys are a bit bigger than that. You'll be able to use the spoon yourself. So we're going to take 9, the entire dimension. So our dimension of 9 goes from one side all the way to the other. And what we're going to do is take away the 5, and what's left over is this number. So 9 minus 5 equals 4. Okay. And so this dimension is 4. 45 minus 8. What do we have? Yep. Awesome. 37 meters squared. Hands up if you got that. Perfect. Make sure you follow BEDMAS. BEDMAS tells us do your multiplication first, dude. And the last thing you're going to do is subtract your answers. Okay, so you got to follow BEDMAS. Brackets, exponents, divide slash multiply, add slash subtract. Okay. Good. Triangles. What's the formula for a triangle? Have a look in your formula sheet, folks. So, good. So, a good formula to use to know 1/2 base times height is one way of writing it. But in your formula sheet, they go base times height divided by 2. Now you could also write it as base divided by 2 times height. That's one way of doing the math in your head. Or base times height divided by 2. It doesn't matter when you're dividing by 2 as long as you do it somewhere. That way you can do the math in your head rather than use a calculator. So let's get started. Formula. Write down the formula. Area equals base times height divided by 2. Then substitute in. How do we know which one's the base and which one's the height? Or how can we find them? What if I gave you this number was 12? Would you use 12? Why not? Because it's on a slant? Yeah. How do you know it's still not the height? Is it not in the middle? Not good enough, because not good enough. You're close. Do you know what to look for? Yep. Base and height join at, 90 degrees, a right angle. Okay, so that's what you're looking for, is the right angle sign. Okay, a lot of you know that, you just didn't say that. Substitute in 16 times 8.5 divided by 2. So what else can we do if we don't want to use a calculator? 8 times 8.5. How did I get this 8? Yep. Yeah, I divided by 2. So this is 8 times 8 and 8 times a half. Okay, so doing grade 5 math again. Yes, he did do it, because my daughter's doing it. So just take 8 and break it up into the 2 pieces. So 8 times 8 is 64. What's 8 times a half, or half of 8? 4. So altogether, what do you get? 68. Could you just use your calculator? Yeah. It's not as fun. Oh, quit whining about it. It's just a little math. Next one. Yeah, Gibson, what is it? How do we do it? Good. What are we going to do for B? This is a good one, like you said earlier, Robinson. What did you say earlier? Exactly. Okay. So find area 1, find area 2. All right. We have all the dimensions for area 2, so it's easy to do. So area equals area 1 plus area 2. The area total will be length times width plus base times height divided by 2. Okay. Go ahead, substitute in now. Find your 2 answers, then add them up. Go. Use the calculator if you like. Okay, so without a calculator, we go 12 times 10. And we can go 12 times 4, then add them up. Okay, here we can go 12 divided by 2, and that will give us 6, and then 7 times 6. Okay, 210 centimeters squared, hands if you got it. Perfect. Okay, C. Notice for C, sometimes the base of the triangle, the measurements aren't given exactly where you need it, but you're all smart enough to know that the top line is also 4 because we have a rectangle. Go ahead and do C by yourself. Please show all your work just like B. Just like B. Go. Carlos, can you see from back there? Wait, I got 14 meters squared. Hands up, you got that. Oh, you guys are brilliant. Love it. Any questions? Remember in math, it's okay to get wrong answers. Sometimes you just didn't see one piece of the puzzle. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how we improve and get better. I also make lots of mistakes, so don't hesitate to tell me that. Okay, parallelogram. If I took this triangle right here, moved it over, what kind of shape would we now have? Rectangle, exactly. Okay, and so a lot of formulas for rectangles are base times height instead of length times width. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. All we have is a tilted rectangle. In our example, what measurement is not needed? Yeah, the slant, right? We don't need the slant. We only need the base and height, which join at? 90. Not good. Okay, so base and height join at 90 degrees. That's kind of a theme that you need to know. So area equals base times height, 10 times 6, 60 centimeters squared. Okay. Go ahead, show your work for the next one. Watch your decimals. Okay, notice how this is a nice clean number. It doesn't have a ton of decimals, and I don't say what to round to, so just give them all to me, okay? So 29.25. Otherwise, I'll tell you what decimal to round to by giving you the place value, like the nearest tenth, hundredth, or thousandth. Okay. Circles. This one's, yep, go ahead.
Did you have to change the centimeters?
Did I screw that up? Oh my goodness, I did too. Thank you so much. Yeah, I should, right? We have different units here. What's going to be easier, going from centimeters to meters or meters to centimeters? Yeah, less decimals if I do this. Okay. Good. So, good. So 6.5 times 450, 2925. Good catch, Sahil. Okay. So you have to have the same units, and this should be centimeters squared. Any questions? Okay, next one. For a circle, you want to use your pi button on your calculator, not 3.14. That's only if I want decimals. Usually I don't. So the formula is pi r squared. If I give you the diameter, that's kind of useless. What do you have to know? The radius. What does the radius equal? Good. Diameter divided by 2. Half the diameter. Now you're on your way. Okay. So here I want you to answer in terms of pi, which means no decimals. And that's because in the first question you only have a circle. Only a circle. So the formula is pi r squared. Diameter equals 12. Radius equals 6. So it's pi times 6 squared. What's 6 times 6? Good. So 6 squared equals 6 times 6, which is 36. Now we don't write pi times 36, we go 36 times pi. And we don't use brackets. So our answer for area is 36 times pi. This is a multiplication. It is also the exact answer. Done. You probably will not see the decimals on a multiple choice test. You will see the exact answer. Okay, so you just write it and leave it as 36 pi. And later on we're going to add pi's together. Because if you have 12 pi and 3 pi, how many pi's would you have? 15. Nice and easy. Okay, we'll talk more about that later. One thing to note, on my calculator, if I go 36 times pi, I would round that to 113.1 if I use my pi button. If I have 36 and I times it by 3.14, which is incorrect, I'd round that to 113.0. This one gets marked right, this one gets marked wrong. Don't use a 3.14. Okay? Good. This is a little bit different. Any questions? This is a plain circle, no other shapes. What do we have here? Half a circle plus a rectangle. So here you're going to have to give me decimals. Round to the nearest tenth. So let's go over our place values. This would be your ones, decimal. So that's your ones. This is your tenths. What's the next one? Hundredths. So I don't say 2 decimal places, I say round to nearest hundredth. Very rarely, though, you should know that this is the thousandths. Okay? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So the area total is the area of the rectangle plus the area of the half circle. So we have length times width plus pi r squared is a full circle. What's half of that? Divided by 2. Okay, so I'm just taking my formulas, adding them up. What do you notice here? Anything interesting with their numbers? 1.2 and 80. Yeah, the units, right? So this should be 120 centimeters. Times it by 100. Okay. So it'll be 120 times 80, or 8 times 12, right? Plus the zeros. Pi times what squared? Divided by 2. So here your radius equals 40. So on the calculator you have 40 squared, 40 times 40 equals 1600. Divide that by 2 and we get 800. So this is 800 pi. Then we go 800 times pi. Everyone should try that on the calculator. Let's just write down 4 decimals, but we don't want to change that on our calculator. 2741. Okay. So we keep the number on a calculator, don't clear it, then just add the 9600. Now you can round. So 12113.2741. And final answer is when you round. You only round final answers. So 12113.3 centimeters squared. When do you round? Final answer. Okay, the last step. Exactly. Now, if you have a new calculator, like a graphing one, let me just turn this one on. If I want to know the answer for 800 pi, I don't even have to hit my multiplication button because I see the little pi on the screen. The calculator knows it has to multiply. Okay, and it comes up with the answer. Any questions? So you got to learn your calculator. Know your calculator, learn it. All right.